What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Oddjobber channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Let's see. Alec Boehm, I took the under of 0.5 hits. That ended up paying for all the props in the morning window. That was nice. That was in the premium Discord. That was not on this video, unfortunately, because how would I possibly throw out an under half hits prop here? Either way, it was really, really fun to be able to hit that. What wasn't fun is I wasn't on Atlanta -1.5 today, and of course they come back in ridiculous fashion in that 8th inning. That would have been nice. Milwaukee gets it done for us on the money line. That was really nice. Corbin Burns, it's almost like I knew he was going to mow down Phillies. That happened. But then San Diego scores 0 runs. Minnesota scores 0 runs, and those were the other two money lines. So, I really need the Cubs to win tonight. They're down 1-0 at the beginning of the first. End of the first now. Whatever. Telling you, I'm on the right track. I know. I got this covered. I know what I'm doing. I promise. We're going to talk through some of the plays that I have on this 15-game slate, try to prove to you that I know a thing or two and not just some weird nerd. You can actually walk through the process with me on Lindy's Locks Update that I do every single Monday through Friday over on my Twitters. If you want to know what I'm going to update with the locks, there's only one on this 15-game slate. Going to be a wild one. Actually, it's pretty straightforward, I think. But you can check that out on my Twitter. At Eric Lindquist is where you can find me. You can check out BetMGM. That's in the link below if you want to jump into that premium Discord. We're having a lot of fun. A lot of sharp people. I don't know. They ended up on the over of 3 runs for a team total here for Baltimore. No matter what, that's going to be a push. They're at 3 right now. So good job by them. My Discord, doing really, really smart things. Me, trying to do really, really smart things. So we're going to try to keep that going. I just want to win, guys. I really just want to win a lot of money for you. So let's get to that. Check out BetMGM only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, lots to get to on this one. I'm motivated. I'm ready. I'm pumped. So is producer Jacob. He's got pitchers above my head. Look at him go. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. The aforementioned pitchers above my head, producer Jacob, great stuff. Jack Flaherty going up against Justin Steele. One of these pitchers I really like. One of them, I don't really know what happened to him because he used to be really, really good. I bet some other team can make him really, really good. So we'll see if somebody courts him. The courtesan. Am I thinking Moulin Rouge? Is that what I really just quoted? The courtesan. The penniless sitar player. You guys don't give a shit about that. You probably care about Jack Flaherty's 35% hard hit percentage, 377 expected slugging. Them's good numbers, friends. But Justin Steele, he has been the man of steel for us. We've backed him a lot, but I can't do it here. I'll talk through why. While Justin Steele, 286 xWOBA, 32.7% hard hit percentage, and 356 expected slugging, I am looking at a lot of righty power up and down this lineup, and he has been giving that up in spades. So, well, actually, no, he's been pretty good at limiting it for the most part. Paul Goldschmidt, Jordan Walker, Wilson Contreras, and Nolan Arenado, they are not your everyday run-of-the-mill righties. A 111 WRC plus against left-handed pitching for the season do the St. Louis Cardinals have. Yikes. I can't do this, friends. I wish that I could. I really want to, but under 8.5. Just going to be a lean here. If you're really looking for something, in this early corridor, though, I also want to try to maybe dabble in a home run prop on the St. Louis side. Again, seems sacrilegious because Justin Steele's made us a lot of money this year, but under 8.5, just a lean right now with an outside chance of the home run props entering the marketplace. Oh, I'm excited to watch this one. Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Did anybody watch Randy Arozarena get really, really lazy in left field? Throw a little soft tosser. Oh, yeah, I'm not even trying. Gunnar Henderson runs it down to third. Just incredible base running, and Baltimore deserves to win the game, if only because of that. However, it's 3-1, bottom 7. No outs here with Tampa Bay threatening. I ended up on 0 of this game. I repeat, pretty sharp guys in the Discord there. They ended up getting all 3 of those in the 4th inning against Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow looked pretty good, except for, again, Randy Arozarena got lazy there. Resulted in a pretty big 4th inning there. Nice base running from Gunnar Henderson. But for Friday's iteration, this will be another fun one here for the AL East rivals. Weird to not see the Red Sox and Yankees at the top of this division. These are the two. You got Mr. Kyle Bradish and Zach Eflin. And I want to talk about Zach Eflin first, but Kyle Bradish deserves a little bit of a deep dive because he's been awesome of late. And maybe I've been a little bit harsh, and I know some people in the comment section think I'm scrutinizing every single pitcher ever. No, it's just simply starting pitching is such a huge part of handicapping, and you want to be very, very keen to what's going on with them individually. Anyway, Zach Eflin, he's been awesome all season long. 87.5 degree exit velocity on average. That's really, really low. A 280 xWOBA. That's really, really low. A 25.2% K rate. That's above average. High. 3.6% walk rate. That's low, 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 and beautiful. Telling you, this guy was a crazy good pickup for Tampa Bay. They knew what they were looking for. This sinker and cutter combination, as well as the slurve or whatever you want to call it, the curveball that he throws. That's more of a slurve of types. He's really good. Baltimore's going to have a tough time, although they do have the lefties who can go out and create problems. You saw it for Glasnow, Gunnar Henderson, Anthony Santander. They're really fun to watch. Adley Rutschman from both sides of the plate as well. Him and Santander. Switch hitters, but cool. Anyway, looking over at Mr. Kyle Bradish, this is an arm that I backed a lot last year, and now we need to jump on the train. Maybe I was a little bit late. I don't care. It's leaving the station. I'm happy about it. I like this. 3.06 ERA, 1.13 whip. Mainly the ground ball rate is starting to go through the roof, and I think you know me by now. When I start to see those numbers start to trend back up, I jump on board instantly. We have 7 ground balls, 11-1 against Minnesota, 11 ground balls to 1 fly ball, 8 ground balls to 2 fly balls against the Yankees, 5-6 in the last time out against Miami. But again, he's really, really good. And now the strikeouts are showing up. 7 Ks in 4 of his last 5. I don't even know necessarily how he's picking them up to a 23.4% K rate. Now, he does have a 43.8% hard hit percentage, which is, a little bit more than he would like going up against Tampa Bay, who have routinely been the best team in baseball against righties all season long, a 120 WRC+. But you know what? This team outkicked its coverage in the first half of the season. They're really good, don't get me wrong. But it's hard to imagine this offense going out and creating a ton of runs here. So I like Eflin. I like Bradish in this spot. Think we're looking at an under here. Now, this is the conversation. I like the under of 8, and I threw this into the premium Discord just to make sure I wasn't crazy as I was talking through this process. But I'm going to wait. I think this number could move to 8.5 by tomorrow. There's a close to an arbitrage opportunity. If you go an odd shop, again, it's called Odd Shopper. I'd take advantage of it. But it's minus 102 in some spots on the under here, and then minus 120 on the over. But there are some books where it's flip-flopped. Minus 105 and minus 115. It is wild looking at this number at the moment. So I'm hoping that it moves to 8.5 and we can hammer it then. If you have to be betting this under 8, it has to be inside of minus 110, period. End of story. I don't want to see your minus 115 or minus 120 tickets if that's where it lands here on the under of 8. Be sensitive to price. Otherwise, it's a lean. Hopefully somebody listened to me about that last portion, because there's really nothing to talk about here. I used up all of my airtime last time through. We have Miami and we have Colorado. Yes, we are getting the Rockies outside of Coors Field. However, you do get Braxton Garrett here on the mound for Miami, a southpaw. That creates a couple of opportunities for guys like Chris Bryant, CJ Cron. They want to get the F out of Colorado, maybe get on a contender. Days are numbered, boys. You got to keep it rolling. Your careers are short. We're not getting any younger. All of the things that my dad tells me when he told me, go get a real job. And I said, no, I'm going to talk about YouTube online to my friends and gamble a lot. Only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But Braxton Garrett on the mound for Miami. On the other side, we don't know exactly who's going to be for Colorado, and that's why there's no line out here. I have Peter Lambert as the guy who lines up the most likely to be there because he is in Triple-A Albuquerque, and it just said that he left. I got to assume that means he got called up to the big leagues. Otherwise, Elvis has left the building, or Peter Lambert. Those are the same thing, right? He's not good this season. 6.29 ERA, 1.63 whip. However, pitched well in Albuquerque, so Albuquerque, PCL, really hard to know those results. Also, really hard to just say, hey, I think this is an absolute gas can, considering he's had to pitch his last 3 outings all in Coors Field, and 2 of those, he threw up blanks to the Angels back when they had Mike Trout and were at full blast, and against Detroit, which is a team that we've seen being successful. Now, Peter Lambert is not all that stretched out. 45 pitches is the most that he got to, that being July 1st, 3 weeks ago. So I got to say, even though he's got 34 and a third innings of work here at the big league level so far this season, has not exceeded 55 pitches in a single one of those outings, actually 59 on the 31st of May. So I'm a liar. Good talk. Glad we had it. But I am looking at the Miami side of this one. You get the Colorado Rockies out of course. Miami's the much better lineup, so on and so forth. I just don't know if I necessarily want to be firing up anything here. I got to assume this number ends up too large and in charge to do anything with. So let's barge through. I have nothing else to rhyme with barge. That's it. Miami money line, just a lean. You know how I know it's been opposite day in the MLB all week long is that my model likes Detroit here. Yeah, a little foreshadowing for everybody involved, but it makes sense to me. You got on one side of this one, Seth Lugo on the bump for the Padres, the struggling San Diego Padres, pretty much just been struggling all year long. That's a legitimate thing. And then Reese Olson on the other side of this one, the emerging arm for the Detroit Tigers, the one guy that I do not see them moving ever. They would want to keep him for as long as they can, be the next Scherzer, Verlander guy. He's really good. That's going a little far, but a 1.01 whip now through 38 and 2/3 innings at the big league level here, sub 4 ERA. I like the strikeout stuff here. 25.8% K rate, 37.4% hard hit percentage, and the matchup is really good. Again, what is going on with these Padres? Watching them in Toronto, it really caught me by surprise seeing some of the batting averages, sub 200 for the likes of Matt Carpenter. Jake Cronenworth is terrible. Alfonso Rivas is being forced into duty quite a bit here with a 20% hard hit percentage, even though he's had a cup of coffee now, 5 batted ball events so far this season. That's not a whole lot. Trent Grisham down below the Meridian line. It is a brutal back half of the San Diego lineup. Do they have talent in Soto, Tatis, Machado at the top of this one? Sure. Xander Bogaerts, though. Say this has been a very poor year for him, too, coming from Boston, a very hitter-friendly park to Petco, and now in this spot, Detroit. This opens up some gaps for doubles in this park, but still, it's not your best hitter's park in general, and I think Reese Olson, the much better pitcher of these two. Seth Lugo on the other side, 269 expected batting average, 451 expected slugging, just a 22.2% K rate, and I'm getting plus 125 here, $1.25 to be backing the way better starter. Sure, I'll do that. Feels weird, doesn't feel normal, but Detroit, yeah, I don't care. 83 WRC plus against righties, second worst in baseball. Be damned. Reese Olson gets it done for us. Half unit play. Don't go crazy, but San Diego's not very good. Sweet Melendez. Yeah, we're going to Kansas City here and the New York Yankees. Some foreshadowing for you. If you're a real one, you know. Maybe you don't know. If you don't know what you don't know. Apparently, I don't know baseball at the moment. But Kansas City and New York, I know the pitchers in this one. We have Alec Marsh. Yeah, Mr. Marsh here, coming off of 11 strikeouts against Tampa Bay in the most outlier performance of all time. Pretty wild here from the righty. He's going up against Clark Schmidt, who has started stringing together interesting performances. And I'm going to use the word interesting because he pitched 2/3 of an inning, didn't exactly come out and do anything there special. I think they were trying to limit his innings. Came back into Coors Field, then pitched 6 innings, 8 Ks, only 2 were in there. I'm going to call that a good result for him here. Yeah, in fact, he's actually hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs in an outing since May 14th, which is a pretty decent sample size. This is kind of the guy that Clark Schmidt was supposed to be, but you know what? We're going to actually be targeting him. Yeah, we're going to actually target him with lefty power, where there's only one guy to really get that from in the Kansas City lineup because they have nobody else there. I remember the day. Well, nobody remembers the George Brett days. I was 2 years old. Just freaking out, going nuts. I mean, he's not even a lefty. It doesn't matter. But MJ Melendez, 51.6% hard hit percentage. It's resulted in just a 403 expected slugging, but you get him in Yankee Stadium here. You get him against a righty who definitely gives up hard contact, 43.9%. And both of them, the launch angles, when it just comes together like this, I love it. 17.4 degree average launch angle for MJ Melendez and a 14.8 degree average launch angle for Clark Schmidt. So the ball more likely to be going in the air than not. That creates hard contact that can go to short porches in right or in left if you go Oppo Taco. MJ Melendez, I think, is a phenomenal home run bet if we're getting better than plus 375, which I totally expect us to be getting even here in Yankee Stadium. He is the only Kansas City batter that I would remotely think about being bullish on. Sal Perez, get out of there. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. Isn't it good? We have Alex Wood on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. See, we went from Allman Brothers to Beatles. It's a good time here. Jake Irvin on the other side of this one, 35.5% hard hit percentage, 347 xwOBA. One's really good, that hard hit percentage. One's really bad, that xwOBA. Why? Well, a 16% K rate with a 10.5% walk rate. Ain't it, buddy? But Washington coming off an off day. San Francisco taxing their bullpen in Cincinnati. Not exactly going completely nuts there. Cincinnati comes out with a 5-1 W there. You see where I'm going with this one? I have 2 plus 1.5s on the card. I can't remember the last time I had 2 plus 1.5s on the card on any specific day. One's coming up a little bit later, so just like hold the phone on that one. But I like getting the 1.5 here with Washington for a couple of reasons, because Alex Wood on the other side has not been his former Dodger self. A 345 xwOBA, 42.8% hard hit percentage. He's throwing 3 pitches. He is a sinker slider change guy. That is all that he does. And that sinker is really not it right now. Now, there are a number of pieces in this Washington lineup. Jaime Candelario, who started to come to life. Kybert Ruiz. We have CJ Abrams now leading off, starting to do things. Stone Garrett, Joey Meneses coming to life as well. I don't know. Washington's lineup isn't as bad as what they've been. Over the last month, they've been a much better baseball team against left-handed pitching here. So I think makes me uncomfortable, but Washington plus 1.5 is on the card. This has also more to do with like what the odds are specifically, because it's a numbers game. Minus 120 at our friends BetMGM, best available line, minus 120 or better. That falls into the like category. We just came off of a best available line over at BetMGM. That means you guys should definitely be checking out more than just one sportsbook, right? I know you have DraftKings. I know you have FanDuel. Why not BetMGM, where you could get that plus 1.5 on Washington, or a number of other bets where it is the best available book that you could be betting at? Well, a couple of more reasons why you should be checking out BetMGM. 2 free months of OS Premium Discord. That's myself, Eitan Shander, Ben Raza. If you guys want our showdown golf plays from the for the PGA streets, if you want to do some live betting in those streets, if you want to be checking out anything, if you have any questions whatsoever, we have answers. We're hanging out on the weekend. Yes, I'll probably be there on Saturday as well. I'm just, burning it through here before I go to Pebble Beach here in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm fancy like that. It'll be great. But this is also awesome. Up to $1,000 you're going to get back from BetMGM in bonus bets if your first wager doesn't hit. So this is how it works. If you deposit $40, and you play $40 on your first wager, you're going to get $40 back in bonus bets if it doesn't win. If it wins, keep the money, withdraw it, keep it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day, go enjoy a dinner, although not many dinners in America, $40 anymore. So just saying. You can do it up to $1,000, though, friends, only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But check out BetMGM, a phenomenal book to add to your repertoire. We here at OddsShopper recommend signing up at all of these books so you can always get the best line available, because at the end of the season, yes, we've had some swales, we've had some ups and downs. Everything levels out as long as you're always getting your money in good with the best of it. So the combination of us, your analysts here at OddsShopper, in conjunction with the best available book, I don't care if it's Caesars, BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, Unibet, if you have access to that, it doesn't matter. I want you signed up at all of them. So check out BetMGM. Really great stuff. Sign up for it in the link below. Use promo code OSInsider. It should automatically populate, though, when you do that. Cool? Good talk. Glad we had it. Let's continue on our merry way. More picks to get to. What's better than 1 home run call? I think 2 home run calls sounds better, doesn't it? The Arizona Diamondbacks, kind of a sad situation for them. They ended up choking in that 8th inning. They've been really, really good. Even just finding a couple games there in Atlanta is this is not your grandparents' Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a much improved baseball team, and they're going to be facing off against Ben Lively, who isn't very lively, even though he's been okay for the righty. but we're going to pick on him a little bit. We'll talk about him in a second. Tommy Henry on the other side of this one, 16.3 degree average launch angle, though he comes with a 32% hard hit percentage. I'm just a little bit worried. Great American Small Park. You're giving up some high contact, sub 17% K rate. Having strikeout guys, that's the most effective thing that you can do against the likes of a Joey Votto. Although, will he be in the lineup left on left? Probably not. Spencer Steer's probably out there. Ellie De La Cruz, 31.3% K rate. You've got Will Benson, 26.8% K rate. If you're not missing those bats, it's going to be problematic. And this lineup just got better with the addition of Christian Encarnacion Strand, one of their better prospects. Yeah, he's going to be playing DH a lot here. 713 expected slugging now through 9 batted ball events here at the big league level. I think he's going to have some pop, just throwing it out there. But Ben Lively's the guy that I want to be targeting here with this 337 xWOBA, 262 expected batting average, and 465 expected slugging. Now, books are not stupid. They know very well that Great American Small Park, it is the best park in baseball for home runs. But, there are a couple of undervalued plays that have shown up from time to time here of late, and I think 2 of them that'll probably exist here. Corbin Carroll, yeah, he's your prime candidate against Ben Lively. He's definitely the top of the board guy, but Alek Thomas moving up in this lineup here. Now, it's one of those things you got to pay attention because Jake McCarthy, really softball hitter. I don't want him in that lineup, or I don't want to be targeting him from the left side. But Alek Thomas, 41.3% hard hit percentage, a 297 xWOBA isn't very good. We got to improve that, that's for sure. But the 41.3% hard hit percentage, now batting some leadoff here in spots, just throwing it out there. That might be some value here because I think he's hitting the ball a lot harder than anticipated. He's running into some Christian Yelich problems, you know, the launch angle problem. He's sitting at right at 2.4 degree average launch angle. Can we loft that thing up, my friend? Well, he did it at AAA when he went down there and worked on his swing. So I'm looking for a double dip here, hoping that we get some good odds. I just want to throw this out there. Lefties. Christian Walker thrown in there too, a righty that I think I might have some interest in. I want to target home runs here. So Corbin Carroll plus Alek Thomas. That is going to be the combination, my friends. Alek Thomas plus Corbin Carroll. Whatever you want over there. Those are going to be my leans. Corbin Carroll, let me find my break-evens one more time here. 350, I think we're going to get better than plus 350. And Alek Thomas better than plus 415. I think we get both of those numbers in our favor. If you hear better than those numbers, you bet it. Good talk. Glad we had it. Of course, we're going to talk props one more time when Kadai Senga's on the mound going up against Cutter Crawford. I'll start with Crawford here in Fenway. He's pretty good. I do like his stuff overall, and it's a pitcher that I'm kind of interested to see as he's stretched out, as he gets more experience here. If he can maintain some of these numbers, 6.2% walk rate, awesome. 223 expected batting average, awesome. 24.5% K rate, above average. 87.7 degree average exit velocity. Great stuff all around here. Now, you're not going to get a lot of strikeout opportunities going up against this Mets team. They just don't do it a lot. 20.8% K rate against righties on the season. 4th best at avoiding them in baseball. 4th lowest strikeout rate, that is. But on the other side of this one is our boy Kadai Senga. And oh my God, it's like this. When you call something out and you just say, when he starts figuring out the walk problem at the big league level, he's going to smash. Well, guess what, friends? He, in his last 5 outings, has not given up more than 3 walks in an outing, and it happened only once, which is phenomenal stuff. And why? Well, 8 Ks or more in 4 of 5. That's the kind of shit that we were waiting for. That's the kind of thing we wanted with this Ghost Fork. So, I'm really sorry for that. I apologize to my family. That's really buffoonery. Then Kadai Senga, we're just going to bet him up to 8 strikeouts. I bet 7.5 is where this line is drawn at. And ooh! What the hell happened to Cleveland in Pittsburgh? Did anybody? Do you guys watch this shit? They went completely nuts. They scored a lot of runs. They scored 5, 10, and 11. Those seem like more runs than the average bear for this Cleveland Guardians team. And I think there's some interesting trends. Josh Naylor hitting lefties even pretty decently. And hopefully he can here too. Batting cleanup more than likely, unless he's just taking an off day and taking a nap or something. Up against Ranger Suarez here of the Phillies. And on the other side, Gavin Williams, who I did a deep dive on yet again. I've been talking about Gavin Williams for a long time because I love the fastball. I think he's been getting a little bit unlucky. But let's start on the one side with Ranger Suarez, because I've never been a gigantic fan of his. He had a really decent season last year. That's funny to say. 21.5% K rate this year, 262 expected batting average. Those are not the numbers that you are looking for. Oh, in Cleveland, though, they've been a little bit brutal against lefties with just an 88 WRC plus, but they're starting to figure it out. They're just letting all of the, you have the nailers. I'll just say the nailers. Both of those guys just going completely nuts against lefties here of late. Yes, Josh Naylor, figuring it out here from the left side. 310 batting average against everybody. 872 OPS with 15 knockers. Those are good numbers. Good stuff overall. And then Gavin Williams on the other side. This is somebody that I want to be backing when I'm getting plus money in these kind of circumstances. Yes, it's a very difficult spot against the normal lefties who can create a lot of problems, but worked pretty well for us with Corbin Burns, right? I know it scared a lot of you, but Gavin Williams is good. A 32.9% hard hit percentage, just a 19.2% K rate, and sure, the numbers haven't necessarily translated in that regard yet, but he's inducing less than a 5% barrel percentage against. If he can do that against this Philadelphia Phillies lineup, there are extra strikeouts to be had. Schwarber, nearly a 30% K rate. Marsh, north of 30% K rate. Trey Turner, 24% K rate. That's kind of surprising. 26% for Nick Castellanos, 25% JT Realmuto. Are you getting my point here? Bryce Harper, 22%. That's about league average. But looking at Gavin Williams, this fastball is going to continue to be pretty good. I think plus money is a nice spectacle here. Maybe Cleveland, stay hot, young fellas. Keep this batting stuff that we saw in Pittsburgh going. I'm not a big hot trends guy. I'm not a big they just did this. But this lineup's looking a lot more competent here for the AL Central. I'm feeling a little bit nervous for my Twins as we get down to the end of the season here, mainly because Cleveland also has some decent bullpen arms. They always do. So, money line, Cleveland, straightforward play. That's really it. Half unit. Moving on. To Arlington we go here for the Rangers hosting the Dodgers. This is going to be fireworks, you would expect. Tony Gonsolin, though, on one side. Andrew Heaney, does he have revenge in his heart against his former team? I don't know, his former team that he had a crazy high strikeout rate with, and now it's down to 24.6%. Dodgers know what they're doing, right? 90.6 degree exit velocity here for Andrew Heaney on the season. That's high, a little bit too high, 336 xWOBA, but yeah, these Dodgers set up really, really nicely. Although, sitting with just a 111 WRC plus, mainly because that's a good mark, but that's 8th best in baseball. There's a couple of teams above them, Baltimore even, against lefties. That's a little bit surprising to me to see them higher on that pecking order. Tony Gonsolin, this is a guy that I do expect to have a much better second half of the season. He was like Cy Young kind of candidate early on last season, but a 3.72 ERA this year, a little bit high compared to a 1.09 whip. He's still keeping batters in check, even without without strikeout stuff, a 19% K rate, and that 9% walk rate is just a little too high for my liking. It's a tough spot for me. I really don't have anything that projects out well here. I think the over is where I lean. Heaney been getting hit up. Tony Gonsolin been getting hit up more. 4 earned in 4 of his last 5. It's not good. Just wish it wasn't 9. Key number of 9. Gonna have to stay away, mainly because of math. Sad face. Over 9, though, gonna be the lean. 5 games to go. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as we head to your lock. Yeah, this is a little bit wild for me to see, but Atlanta, very small favorites here going up against Milwaukee. Freddie Peralta, fastball Freddie on one side for Milwaukee, and Mr. Michael Soroka here on the other side for Atlanta. So which side am I backing? Who do I actually like? Who do I not like? Well, let's talk through it, because I think this might be a little bit surprising to you. Michael Soroka, 5.40 ERA, 1.50 whip. Those are not good numbers, but he has just started to get acclimated here. Only 23 1/3 innings so far this season. He's trying to hold down the fort here. if he wants to have a starting gig going forward, he's got to have a good outing very, very shortly here before before everybody gets healthier for Atlanta. He does have a 37.3% hard hit percentage, though, a 442 expected slugging, 268 expected batting average isn't all that great, but just a 17.8% K rate. What's going on here? Because he does have that 5.28 expected ERA. Why am I being bullish on him here? What is it? Well, it's Milwaukee. Milwaukee's not very good. I don't think that's surprising anybody, but they have a 24% K rate against right-handed pitching, an 88 WRC plus. That is way down in the doldrums of the eighth worst in baseball against right-handed pitching on the aggregate. He has to avoid the Christian Yelich bomb. He has to avoid a couple of those hitters, but doesn't Fastball Freddy have to avoid the entire Atlanta lineup too? That's the way I look at it. And Fastball Freddy had been brutal until he faced Cincinnati last time out. Only one hit in 6 innings, 6 Ks, really got his crap together. But previous to that, had given up 3 earned in 3 straight, had really ran under hard times towards the end of it. Now an ERA up to 4.41 with a 1.26 whip. This really has everything to do with when I get Atlanta, knowing that they're going to get a 9th inning bump too, where they're going to see the plate a lot in this one. And then Milwaukee doesn't really have the best of pens behind it. I love the value that I'm getting. So if Soroka can be semi-competent here, and that's asking for quite a bit here, I suppose, I think we really have a sneaky spot here. Freddie Peralta, nearly a 10% walk rate. Atlanta, I'm locking them in here. Anytime I'm getting close to a standard juice on either side of this, minus 110 with Michael Soroka. We don't have a large enough sample to say that he is certifiably bad this season, even though last year, 5.03 expected ERA, but I expect him to improve off of this expected ERA. I want to be early to the party here, and I just want to back up Braves lineup against anybody at this kind of a number. So there you go, Atlanta, lock it up for Friday. To my favorite prop of the day, prospective prop based on the numbers we saw in Seattle and what I expected to be here. Lance Lynn on one side, Joe Ryan on the other, both of them running hot and cold, yes and no, in and out and up and down. Yeah, the Katy Perry thing, you know. Joe Ryan, 3.77 ERA, 1.03 whip, but not looked so good since the All-Star break. His 2 starts, 5 earned and 3 earned. Velocity sitting and wavering just a little bit below average. Something to be paying attention to. Also, 3-3 Baltimore and Tampa Bay. That's going to be a fun one. I want to get out of here and watch the end of that. So why don't we just talk through Lance Lynn and some of the concerns that I have with him, right? Because they are plentiful. They have been all season long. You know you're going to get the strikeout stuff with him. 27.7%. But a 451 expected slugging with a 334 xWOBA. One player that has started to show out that power, that 60 out of 60 raw grade power score over on Fangraphs, is Alex Kirilloff. Just a 37.7% hard hit percentage on the season, but the launch has come up north of 10 degrees on the launch angle, and a 343 xWOBA and a 415 expected slugging. I expect a big second half. I don't know how many times I can say that about this guy. I feel like I have to say it a lot. He also showed up on my card as like a 2+ hits positive EV bet. Wild stuff showing up with Alex Kirilloff. Maybe I'm just higher on him than the overall public sentiment is. Him and Byron. I can't even talk about Byron Buxton. He makes me sad this season. Under a 200 batting average now, striking out a lot. If my mom is calling you out, my mom legitimately called me just to yell at Byron Buxton. I don't think Byron Buxton cares. He's making $1 bajillion and he's just fine. Handsome fella. Just start hitting the ball better. That's great. Alex Kirilloff to go yah against Lance Lynn. That is the play, as well as 2+ hits. I like both of them. So if you want to fire up either, cool stuff. But Alex Kirilloff, that is a nifty little prop to be looking at for Friday. FanDuel, that's where the best lines have generally been. I want this north of plus 175. The days might be numbered for one Shohei Ohtani here in Los Angeles, and there is a massive range of outcomes of what you're looking at in terms of whether or not he re-signs with the Angels in the offseason, or does he end up with the Yankees at the deadline, who sound like they're interested in moving some prospects for him. Again, the Dodgers make the most sense. San Francisco, you might want him. I don't know how you possibly get him without... Nobody wants Luis Matos. Nobody does. The Giants don't want Luis Matos right now. Been pretty brutal. Anyway, just saying. It's going to be in Dodger blue. Calling it now. Again, I'm sorry. Giants fans coming at me in the comment section. That happens almost every time. But Shohei Ohtani on the mound for maybe one of the last times here for the Angels. Johan Oviedo on the other side. He's not good. 329 xWOBA, but 254 expected batting average, 20.4% K rate. I thought he was a great reliever when he was in St. Louis, because he was. But now it's just a different type of thing when you get lengthened out to a starter. Pittsburgh's trying to make anything stick in that department. A really poor end of the first half of the season for them. Going to be very intrigued to see how they end up. Man, that was an always questionable flashback. How many other people watched PTI, always questionable, around the horn like every day? That was me, especially in college. Oh man. Very shocking that I have this job. Very shocking. But anyway, Shohei Ohtani, one of the best pitchers and hitters in baseball. And here's the thing. I want to do something crazy. I want a Shohei parlay. Oh, look at that. Didn't even think about that until just now. I want a Shohei parlay with lots of things. We have been looking in the premium Discord like crazy. And guys have been firing these things off left and right. Look at his 1+ walks. Look at his home run props against a Johan Oviedo, although I doubt there's a whole lot of value that's going to be attached to that. Look at his 2+ hits. Look at all of his props, because I've been interested in about 48 of them in recent games here. You get an awesome stadium in Anaheim for hitting. It's rarely factored in. Well, actually, it almost always is. But you have the 7Ks, 8Ks you could be looking at for Shohei Ohtani to add to it. I think this could just be a fun send-off piece here for Shohei Ohtani. So here's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the Shohei Ohtani to do really insane stuff lean. Center for kids who can't read good. It's my Derek Zoolander. Shohei Ohtani. He needs to be at least 3 times his size. He's a big guy. He looks like a Greek Adonis. He's so beautiful. Shohei Ohtani to do really insane stuff also. Yes, to everybody. Spencer Strider's still thick. I said I had another +1.5. Why don't we just fire it up here? Why would it? Oh my God. Can everything just turn around? Turn around. Every now and then I have to wager on Oakland. Then they probably will disappoint us, but it doesn't matter because it's math. Framber Valdez, JP Sears on the other side for Oakland. He's not very good, but he's the best out of the Oakland starting rotation. 3.91 ERA, 1.01 whip. My friends. He's pretty good. Lefty. Going to face a lot of righties here in this Houston lineup, but I don't think they're all that good. Yanner Diaz, pretty extreme reverse splits, although he's starting to hit lefties a lot better. Jose Abreu been terrible. Chas McCormick's been decent, 42 expected slugging, but just a 36% hard hit percentage. You got Jeremy Pena struggling, Alex Bregman struggling, Corey Julks struggling, Jake Myers struggling. I think this is a very sneaky spot to fire up against Framber Valdez. Now, I expect a low-scoring game. If you want to correlate that with an under, be my guest. I would be just fine with +1.5 Oakland along with the under here, but I'm keeping it strictly to Oakland +1.5 purely because Framber Valdez, as good as what he's been, and that ground ball rate is starting to trend back up to those insane proportions, still has a 45.5% hard hit percentage, still an 8.4% barrel percentage, and the strikeouts aren't crazy off the chain, 27.4%, although he's been better even in that regard. I think Oakland keeps this close, and as long as he keeps it close here, this is value, my friends. We're going to Value Town for this one, +1.5, getting +128 at FanDuel. Do your shopping. Don't wager this inside of +120. Wager it at +128 at FanDuel right frickin' now. And the last game of the night, wouldn't you know it, it's a total in Seattle, but not what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking. The Toronto Blue Jays and Yusei Kikuchi, he'll kill ya, just like Kikuya will kill ya. It's a grass term for California people. Real ones know. If you're not a real one, you don't know. Bryce Miller on the other side, he's been a real one here for Seattle. Yet another good starting pitcher for them. They got a lot of them. Brandon Wu, George Kirby, he's okay. Logan Gilbert's really good. 0.97 whip, 3.66 ERA here for Bryce Miller. Overall, they're trying to limit some of his pitch. 61 pitches. He had 70 in his first start back in 2+ weeks there. He's going to be getting the start against Toronto. I don't know what to expect, but I think he's overperformed some of his metrics over the course of this season. Again, congratulations to him. I'm happy for you. But between him and Kikuchi, I do not believe in either of these starting pitchers. 43.7% hard hit percentage for Kikuchi, 41% for Miller. 439 expected slugging for Miller, 468 expected slugging for Kikuchi. Both of them north of a 23% K rate, 24.3% here for Kikuchi specifically. That's how they have to survive here. And Toronto is not going to be striking out very much. You just saw the Blake Snell running into counts here. Sure, Toronto's got to fly over here to Seattle, but I think they'll be just fine traveling. It's a little different for them than it is for us, my friends. I'm flying first class next weekend for one flight. It was like way too much money to get extra. But I'm going to Pebble. I'm going to do it right, my friends. I am making sure that trip lasts. I need some extra spending money because I've lost some of it the last 2 days, but I need some extra spending money. We're going to finish it out with a bang, friends. The over of 8. Yes, key number of 8. Why is it key? Well, tied 4-4. You keep playing baseball. So right next to their implied totals, you're running into more opportunities to end up being on the winning side of it. Over 8, I really, really like. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on the board here for Friday's slate. Was a really down week for me overall. I promised to improve. I promised to be back ready, rested, ready to rock on Sunday night coming into Monday's slate. You've got A-Tone on the weekend per usual. Give him some love. Check out his videos. Smash that like button. Check out BetMGM. You sign up for that in the link below for those great offers, up to $1,000 in bet credits, 2 free months of Discord insider access only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you to producer Jacob. Another week in the books. Until next time, my friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Friday.